Park, Melbourne. We are here for round 6 of the Invictus F1 Performance League. We're going to be challenging ourselves against the 5.3 kilometre or 3.9 mile circuit consisting of two turns, two DRS zones and 16 turns. But first of all, let's welcome my co-commentator. As always, good evening, Mark. How are you this evening?
You're alright, mate. How you doing? I'm all good. How are you?
I'm good. I think two turns wouldn't be very challenging compared to the 16. So, yeah, two DRS zones. So I'm getting myself mixed up already trying to battle this cold. But look, I'm looking forward to tonight's race. It's been a season long of explosive races, and certainly hoping for some more of the same this evening. Oh, and as we mentioned that, it's a wet qualifying. So, yeah, it's the challenge is on early on in the qualifying session.
It is. It's very interesting because yesterday in the No Assist League, it was just full dry, and thank God for that. But now the Performance League, yeah, they're going to have some bad times unless they've been told differently on the dry itself. I think it will be more probably wet. Not the music group, but you know.
Well,
what I mean,
yeah, I do. Well, we're certainly waiting for an update from the pit lane to see what the weather forecast is like for the rain. And on to track is Mike in the McLaren this evening, followed by a Force India. So
you've got the car right.
I do. But certainly the McLaren could have an advantage at this stage in qualifying, being a very strong chassis. Mike runs wide on the pit exit, just catches some of the grass and allows the Force India to pass through. So a big challenge for Mike this evening, dropping down into the McLaren.
Yeah, definitely. How do you think he'll do tonight?
I think he may have to try and be a bit shrewd with strategy.
Sorry, Craig. He lost a car. I can't remember what turn it was. He just doing like the Michael Jackson Shamo. You know, it was just unbelievable. But he recovered it well on that. But fair play to him. Sorry, carry on, Craig. How do you think Mike would do tonight?
I think he's got a big challenge in his hands tonight. We do know that he isn't the quickest driver in the Performance League, but he is in one of the slower cars. So a monumentous task for Mike tonight. He'll be hoping for a good qualifying, and he certainly could maximise that with his chassis of McLaren in wet weather conditions. So if he can maximise his qualifying and possibly go for the optimum strategy, possibly the one-stop strategy tonight, starting on fresh dry tyres due to the wet qualifying. So it does have a chance for some strong points tonight. Yeah,
definitely. Let's just hope he gets that good start. That's what you need in this F1 leagues. If you get that brilliant start, you'd be like laughing yourself now. But we're just going to watch Mike now. Try and get her past a few corners now.
But I think it's also vital that you get a clean start to the race, as we saw last night. An incident between Lance Stroll and Romeo certainly hindered both drivers' races right from the get-go. As GFM UFC runs wide onto the raised curb as he just comes round to complete Sector 1, a Sector 1 time of 33.4 in the Red Bull. So he ran wide on the exit of 4 into 5, certainly that would have compromised his time through Sector 1. He's hoping to make that time up in the Red Bull as we come through Sector 2, approaching the tricky chicane, and it'll certainly be trickier in wet weather conditions.
Yeah, I've just watched Mike now. I think he got under the minute marker on Sector 2. So I don't know if that's going to be any... actually... what do you reckon the time will be in Australia? I know in dries it's 120,
I
122,
think we
23s,
might be seeing times coming out at the 129s, 130s.
129s, 130s. Yeah, I think that might be the one. But Mike's done a 130.40. Oh, 139 flat. 139.8.
Yeah,
So
certainly a mistake somewhere at that point in the race. Sorry, lap.
139.2.
I was expecting a lot quicker than that actually. His car sets a 138.3. So I think possibly, Mark, we've been a bit optimistic with that lap time. And
Just a bit.
his Rossi sets a 137.8. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name.
Sorry, I do apologise, but I'll just say McWellum. That's the one, McWellum.
AKA
I forget
Rossi.
who they are. Hey, okay, Rossi, that's all good, but 137.8. That's a good time from him. That's a really good time.
Fast going, just coming round the exit of the chicane. Runs wide onto the gravel, and he'll certainly have to abandon that whole lap. He's really struggling under braking and getting the turn in, so possibly running low downforce. And I wonder if this is an indication that it could be a dry race.
Could be. Lance has got into third with 139 flat in the Toro Rosso.
Fast Going's actually abandoned that, Malk, and he's opted to go into the pits. Currently riding on board with Sir Spud in the Force India on the intermediate tyre, just coming into the pits as well. So Sir Spud possibly made a mistake on that lap and opting to abandon that as well.
Just watching Nicky now coming up in sector 3. Oh, what a lap from JFM! 137.2.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're seeing track evolution here again. The track's getting drier. It doesn't look as if the rain is easing up any, but it could be that there is a drying racing line. That's allowing drivers to maximise their time. It looks as if Nicky just had a little bit of lost traction at the rear end there, and he's put it up into fourth with the Williams. So GFM, you've seen the Red Bull currently holding on to a provisional pole with 5 minutes remaining in the lap, as Core Tactics is back on track in the Renault, currently in second with 2/10 down on GFM.
Just watching Jim now. He's done a 32.3 on sector 1. He's in 15th at the minute. So it'll be very interesting to see how if he can be in Q.
I think another driver that we need to watch out for as well, Malk, is Delange in the Sauber. We do know that Delange has maximised his opportunities in the slower cars, and he did well last season in Monza in the Sauber, so can he replicate that tonight in Australia? Currently in 7th with a 39.5, so he's about 1.8 seconds down on pole, but he's certainly in a reasonably strong position, certainly for the Sauber. But we are aware that there's drivers yet to set a lap time, as Fascone is actually on an outlap at the moment. But what's interesting at the moment, telemetry shows that Sir Spud sitting in the pit lane is actually on the super soft tyres. So could we see a dry moment at the end of qualifying here?
Oh, it's risking it. Oh, Betrayer! 137.8. He's moved up to third.
Very impressive.
Nicky?
Oh, that was an impressive lap from the Toro Rosso driver. So it looks as if, although he's had a short spell away from racing, he's certainly not lost any of the form.
He hasn't lost it. He hasn't lost it there. He's got that lucky 46. You know, fair play to him. I wish I'd put the bet on now. Put everything on 46 on the casino. He'll know what to do next. But 3 minutes left.
The question is, will we see JFM come back on track? Currently in the pit lane at the moment, there's certainly enough time to get round to get on the hot lap, so he might just be waiting at the last minute. I'm sure he'll be sitting in the pits watching core tactics come round the final few corners.
Yeah. I'm going to watch Nick now, see how he does.
Looks like Giuseppe's possibly disconnected from the session. Core Tactics does decide to bail out of it. I think that was possibly he's run out of fuel there. So GFM still sitting in the pit lane. 2 minutes 20 remaining. Will he feel challenged enough to come back out?
It's 20 seconds to get out. Well, I think it's 20 seconds to get out anyway, but...
Nicky bails out of that as well, so possibly happy on the clean side of the grid in third. Mike, I think, is on his outlap as he comes through turn 3 and 4 very slowly.
Nick's done a 137.9 on the instance. I don't know if he's going to try and do another one now. I'm going to go to Fascone or Spud. Which one is quick nearest? I'm going to watch the Spud coming up to the last few corners now. He's got to get the spot on, otherwise he doesn't want to stay at the back again. And he has been really unlucky, to be fair, Craig. Like I said, I think once he gets that confidence back, I think he'll win races like he used to. And
yeah, I certainly agree. I think he's just going through a little slump in form at the moment, but it's a very challenging grid that he's competing against at the moment. We've got very quick drivers in the form of Caw, Delange, and certainly the return to form Betrayer. As Nicky retires from the session, I believe that is from the pit lane, but we've also got quick drivers as in Rossi and Lance Stroll that are certainly forces to be reckoned with on their day. As Mike moves up to 7th from 10th in the McLaren, so an impressive qualifying session from the McLaren driver, and GFM UFC is on track in the Red Bull with a 37.2 as he just begins his hot lap, comes through turn 1, turn 2, looking to get down the power, down that straight into the tight right-hander that is turn 3.
Oh, I'm just still watching the Spud. If he can hold on to this now. He's got to get this perfect. Caw, Betrayer, Giuseppe and Delange have all finished. Obviously they're in the pits anyway. But can Spud? He's got to get a good exit here.
Nick Thompson moves up to 3rd but drops to 4th as Rossi puts it on provisional pole, a 137.0 in the McLaren. Can GFM come back and retake pole?
Jesus, what a lap! Oh my God, but can Fascone?
Oh, GFM losing the back end, power sliding through the chicane, but manages to keep it straight. But I think that's his chance gone.
I didn't see that, Craig, but I'm just watched Fascone move to 9th. Well, sorry, I stand corrected. It's just been dropped down to 10th now because I think MJ Coupe moved up to 9th. But can Notorious do the best ones on the next few corners? Can he do it if he beats Cusi?
Well, GFM couldn't retake pole after that mistake from the chicane, power sliding through the second phase of the chicane, and it certainly robbed him that opportunity. Nick Thompson bails out of that lap in the Renault, currently holding on to 4th.
What a lap!
So very impressive from Rossi.
Jesus, that's just pretty good lap, especially the McLaren around Australia as well. And JFM was really unlucky because I think he would have got pole if obviously if Rossi wasn't there tonight. But don't get me wrong. We got Nick in fourth. We got Betrayer done well to get sixth as well. So it'd be very interesting to see how these guys can capitalise on tonight. We've got Mike in the McLaren. Sorry, not Ferrari, but it's a McLaren, but with a Ferrari type. McLaren. Get it? If you do get it, fair play. If you don't, I'll retire. What do you think is going to happen tonight in the race, if it's a dry race?
Another explosive race, as always.
Kaboom!
Yeah, I think if we've got a dry race, then certainly Rossi could come under pressure from the quicker cars. So it'll be interesting to see what the weather brings us for the official race. So just to run down the qualifying order, it's Rossi on pole, GFM second, Koth third, Nick Thompson fourth, Nicky fifth, Betrayer sixth, Lance Stroll seventh, Sir Spud eighth, MG Coupe ninth, Vascone 10th, Mike 11th, Notorious 12th, Giuseppe 13th, 14th is Delange, McLugpay 15th, with Saab in the Force India in 16th. So if we do have a dry race, then it's certainly going to be a lot of pressure on Rossi in the McLaren, certainly on that run down into turn 3. And it does look as if we're getting a dry race, Malk. So, yes. Yep, game on. Game on. But this throws strategies up in the air. So who's going to opt for the one-stop strategy? Who's going to go for the quicker two-stop strategy? It just remains to be seen.
It does. But if you was in your position now, Craig, what would you do?
I think if I was Rossi, I would opt for the one-stop strategy. I know that I don't have the car underneath me to give me overall pace, but then you could be thinking, well, I've just put it on pole, so I'm the quickest driver here. So a bit of a conundrum for Rossi at the moment. I think for me, I think I would go the one-stop strategy, but I'm just looking at information from the pit lane. It says that we're going to have light rain at the end of the race, so I think you're going to see the drivers opting for the hardest compound tyre, looking to go long in the race and switching over to the inters or the full weight wets late on in the race.
But will it kick off at the end?
Well, that is the question. And will we see drivers going long with the harder compound tyre, or will we see drivers taking a chance, going on the quicker strategy, looking to get their noses ahead and control the race from the front, and then coming in for the inters late on? So, big questions being asked on the pit wall and in the cockpits as well. And
the commentator box as well.
And the commentator box as well. So we don't even know what tyres the drivers are going to be on. It's going to be a tough call between teams and drivers alike.
If you want to know my opinion, I would go for the harder compound.
Yeah, and we certainly remember that famous win from Fabulous Chicken a few seasons ago at Silverstone. Opted not to qualify, went on the harder tyre, went long in the race, opted for the inters about halfway through and secured his very first win. Yes. So it can happen. It can happen, and we will see what tyres drivers are opted for round the formation lap.
Oh, MJ Coupe, Delange and McLugpay have all gone for the soft tyre.
But what's also interesting is Rossi on pole opted for the super softs, while his competitors GFM UFC and COD Tactics have went on the ultras. So interesting tyre choice, and it's going to be exciting to see how these strategies play out. So it looks as if Rossi believes the fresh super softs is going to take him to the crossover point on the wet tyres?
I think it's 15, 16 laps on super softs. Ultra softs can only last up to like 14 laps, I think. 13, 14 laps. That's if you can manage them perfectly as well. And super softs with Rossi possibly do about 16, 17 laps, and then you could have 10 laps or 12 laps of the inters if our calculations are correct. But these F1 cars don't go up to 88 miles per hour, they go way past that.
I think we're going to see an interesting battle develop between the drivers in the top 5 in the Supersoft. Rossi and Nick Thompson. The drivers round about them are on different tyre strategies, so the fight could really be between Nick Thompson and Rossi at this stage, because we don't know how quick that Ultra Soft is going to burn off in comparison to the Super Soft starting from fresh. We're certainly going to find out in the next couple of laps, and I just hope that we get every car through turn 1 without any great incident and we have another cracking race. So as we prepare for the 16 drivers to form up in the grid slot, Rossi will certainly get us underway, but he's going to come under pressure from Red Bull driver JFM UFC on the quicker tyre at this stage of the race.
And don't forget Core Tactics did a good lap as well in the Renault car, and Nick as well. We got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go, go, go! Will there be any action?
Rossi and JFM get off well. Rossi seems to be leading slightly ahead. JFM goes defensive on the Renault. He's actually pushed him into the wall. That looked to be Core Tactics, I believe, that just got a nudge into the wall. JFM putting pressure on Rossi very early. Tries to go down the inside of turn 3. Rossi keeps it around the outside. Manages to hold on to first, but there's a Renault and Core Tactics. He's going to put pressure under JFM and Rossi.
Oh my god.
Core Tactics has a little look on the inside of the Red Bull. It doesn't quite get the move done, but the Williams of Nicky charging hard.
He ain't messing about. Oh my god, what a move. What a move from Core.
Yeah, Core got that move done sweetly. Just controlled the corner, but that's allowed Rossi to open up the gap slightly ahead.
It's a perfect tactic there from Core.
But Lance Stroll putting Nick Thompson under pressure for 5th place. Lance Stroll on the move in the Toro Rosso.
He ain't messing about here. Oh my god.
Yeah, Nick Thompson having to defend hard. I believe it was Nick Thompson that was actually pushed into the wall, and I'm sure he's got front wing damage because he was struggling to turn in there in the final turn 16. That allows Lance Stroll to have a go at him down the back straight, but just doesn't have the power to get the move done on the Renault. Possibly a dive into turn 3, but Betrayer is going to be putting pressure under the fellow Toro Rosso into turn 3. Betrayer, I believe, has inside line, gets the elbows out and just goes defensive against Lance Stroll. So Toro Rosso's changing positions on lap 2 of the race.
It doesn't look like he's got front wing damage, Nick, unless I'm mistaken, but I don't think he has got any front wing damage. I don't know if he was just trying to save the fuel or what, I don't know, but he looks struggling tonight. Hopefully he'll catch up with the guys from the top 4.
Core Tactics beginning to rein in Rossi as we just come through the chicane at turn 9 and 10. Rossi's starting to open up a little bit of a gap. It's up to half a second. At the moment it's the Red Bull of GFM UFC and Nicky battle it out down at turn 13.
I just saw Giuseppe and MJ Coupe. Notorious. What a move! MJ Coupe struggling at the minute. Well, we might have a train of Coupes here.
Yeah, MJ Coupe dropping down the grid orders, now in 12th. So MJ Coupe's struggling on the soft tyres, but he will be able to go longer in the race compared to the drivers round about him.
Oh! Did you see that, Craig?
No, I did see we'll get yellow flags in Sector 1, but not sure what the incident was.
Yeah, what happened was, Craig, I'll give you a bit of an update there. You know when Saab and MJ Coupe, the first corner, Saab, oh my god, sorry, Saab,
sorry to interrupt here, Mark, but Tactics having a dive up the inside of Rossi, going into chicane at turn 9 and 10. Slight wheel bang there, but Tactics moves up to first.
Oh my god, we got Frascani and Meglupi.
Oh, GFM trying to go round outside of turn 13. Oh, it's a possible three-way jet battle. GFM runs wide onto the grass. That allows Nicky to come through into Williams. So Nicky seizes that opportunity and moves up to third place. But GFM not giving up.
Never gonna give you up. We got the 3 cars coming now.
It looks as if Rossi could come under pressure into turn 1. Nicky utilising the Mercedes power unit in the Williams car. It decides better of it, and it looks as if he's going to have the go into turn 3. Yep, Nicky goes down inside turn 3. Looks as if it's got it done, but Rossi looked to come back on turn 4. But I think, no, Nicky, I think Nicky just got his rear end touched. I think Nicky just received a little tap from behind, and that unsettled the car and allowed Rossi to come back through. And GFM running wide again onto the grass allows Nicky to move back up to third. But all the while this is going on, Tactics opening up the gap to 2.3 seconds.
Bloody hell. That we might have the 2 Toro Rosso battles here.
Nicky looked to go round the outside of the chicane. Rossi covered it off, but Nicky's entry into the chicane compromise allows GFM to go past again up to third.
I'm missing this action on my stream.
There is a developing 6-way battle possibly for second, as Nick Thompson, Betrayer, Lance Stroll are closing down Rossi, GFM and Nicky, as that's an early pit stop from Rossi, so he wants to get off those super soft tyres as quick as possible. I think Rossi was aware that there was a train developing behind, and he didn't want to lose too many positions fighting, so possibly looking to go for a change of strategy.
What a move from Lance! At the outside of turn 1. Oh my god, he's catching up to Nick. Oh, what a move! This is brilliant. Oh, Betrayer! Oh my god, do not lose this. We've got Mike and Betrayer. They're 2 good mates of the F1 history. And I might lose this voice after. It's just going to be unbelievable. As you said, we might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We might have 6 ways for third place. Oh my god! And I'll shut up now and let Craig carry on.
Yeah, I'm just watching Rossi's pit stop there. He actually came back on the super soft, so I think that was down to front wing damage. So he has changed on a new set of super soft, and he'll be hoping to continue that strategy choice to the crossover to wet weather.
Hopefully.
But it's good to hear your voices come back down a few octaves, Malk.
Thanks, Craig. I will lose it afterwards.
So the battle between the Toro Rosso drivers, Lance Stroll and Betrayer, continues down the pit straight on the rundown into turn 1. Betrayer slightly ahead. I don't think he's close enough to make a move into turn 1, but it could possibly into turn 3. But Mike looking to put pressure on him. So a very impressive drive from Mike at this stage of the race, still in contention for strong points, currently in 7th with the McLaren.
Yeah, same with Spud as well, and Giuseppe. These guys are trying their very hardest to make sure they keep these points for tonight. Oh, we've got a beautiful helicopter view just before we're in the second sector, but we're just coming up to the end of it. Oh, lads, hold on. He's catching up to Nick now.
Yeah, there's a bit of a train developing behind the Renault driver Nick Thompson. We've got Lance Stroll, Betrayer, Mike, Sir Spud and Giuseppe closing down that Renault for 4th position.
But will Lance to overtake Nick in the DRS straights?
He's certainly close enough to have the DRS activated. Nick Thompson will certainly have to go rich fuel and defend into turn 1 and turn 3, 2 DRS zones available in Australia, of course.
Oh, just running from the car view. He looks a bit behind.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite close enough to close down the Renault into turn 1. He's going to look for a good exit. Certainly there was a little cut there through turn 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks as if the Renault's slightly getting a better straight line speed as Nick Thompson remains ahead coming through turn 3 and 4.
And
Rossi sets the fastest lap. Yeah, certainly those fresh super softs are playing dividends. Sir Spud currently behind Mike for 7th and 8th. Sir Spud on the super soft tyres, while Mike in the McLaren ahead on ultras. So Sir Spud could be sensing an overtake opportunity as we come up to the chicane.
Oh, let's see how it goes. I do apologise for interrupting.
Oh, Lance Stroll ran wide on the exit of the chicane, right onto the gravel. That allows Betrayer to close down. Lance Stroll goes defensive. Betrayer backs off the power. I think Betrayer could be waiting for DRS, just waiting to see if Lance Stroll runs wide again.
He needs to get past them, because otherwise we might have another train going on.
Betrayer certainly getting held up here. Oh. Yep. Yeah, I think Lance Stroll recognised that he compromised Betrayer's pace there, and but a good bit of sportsmanship. Mike goes down the inside. Betrayer looks to have struggled on the power on the exit of turn 2, and that's compromised his exit. Sir Spud, ever the opportunist, looks to go round the outside of turn 3. Just can't get the car turned in.
It's low. Nearly lost it, but Giuseppe's coming in. What a move. Spud will be kicking himself.
And while we're talking about that, Mal, Nicky has closed down COD Tactics for the lead. The gap now half a second. So Nicky sensing the race win is up for grabs.
Sorry, I'm drinking. I saw it was close on Nicky.
COD Tactics slightly ahead in the run down to turn 13. Nicky struggling to get that car turned in ahead, struggling with the dirty air from the Renault ahead as we approach turn 15 and 16. Nicky looking to utilise DRS on the run down into turn 1. COD Tactics slightly ahead, goes defensive on the inside line. Nicky opts for the racing line, looking for a straight run into turn 1. COD Tactics moves back over onto the racing line. Nicky can't close him down.
JFM has started to pit now for the super soft tyre. Betrayer's got a 3-second tyre penalty.
Slight lock up there from Nicky, getting into turn 3, and that allows COD Tactics to open up the gap again to 0.8 of a second.
Yeah. So far, Craig, it's only been 9 laps, but what do you think of it so far?
Feels as if we've been doing 29 laps. So JFM retires from this session. Looks as if he's put it in the wall. Somewhere in sector 1. I think, he's actually spun that on the exit of turn 2, I believe.
It could be a collision, we don't know, we haven't seen it. But we'll have to find out after the race. Nicky's closing in on core tactics now.
Yeah, that battle for first place is continuing as we approach the end of the lap. So, can Nicky get close enough to make an opportunistic move into turn 1? Core Tactics seems to get the better exit from turn 16, and it allows them to open up that slight advantageous gap. He's coming back onto the racing line. Nicky closer than he has been that whole lap, so they get 4/10 of a second. Can he get the move done into turn 3? It looks as we ride on board that he just can't close him down enough. So could we see Nicky go for the undercut? I don't think the ultra soft tyres will get both drivers to the crossover onto the wets. We are aware that there is rain forecast for later on in the session. Nicky's struggling to get this move done. It could mean going for the undercut.
Could be, but I'm just going to watch Betrayer, Mike, Lance, and possibly Giuseppe. So these guys are battling out for 4th place. 4 cars, 4th place.
Sorry to interrupt there, Mal, but Nicky got a superb exit from the chicane, but he still can't close down. Core Tactics goes for the dive round the outside, but Core Tactics goes defensive and actually has him covered off. So superb driving from Core Tactics at this stage of the race.
Oh my god, we might have 4 cars.
Oh, both Core Tactics and Nicky were just playing that little bit of chase. Who's going to blink first into the pit lane? Core Tactics went in, and then followed suit was Nicky.
Oh my god, we might have 2 of the cars in the bed. Oh, come on.
Oh, looks like the Haas tries to stick it round the inside, but Lance Stroll and the Toro Rosso manages to remain ahead.
No, but it's a Spud.
Yeah, it's a Spud trying to seize the opportunity to move back up a position, but Giuseppe was certainly wise to it and defended that well.
Oh my god. I didn't mean to interrupt you there earlier, Craig.
Not at all. I'm just trying to catch where Core Tactics and Nicky come out. So it looks as if Nicky got the jump on Core Tactics in the pit stop. So well done, Williams crew there. Nicky went for the super softs, but Core Tactics has opted for the softs. So Core Tactics possibly believing that the track won't be wet enough for that crossover onto the wet tyres. So big risk at the moment for Core.
Yeah, big risk. But Giuseppe, Clausio lands. Oh my god. Come on. We might have 2 cars. Oh!
Yeah, looks as if Giuseppe went a little bit wide there, lost his braking point, and almost ended up in the back of Lance Stroll's car.
Lance Stroll and Mike have pitted. But, correct me if I'm wrong, Craig, the wet transo... I can't say, you know, the changeover. That's, how long does it take for the track to be properly wet?
Oh, I think that just comes down to how heavy the rain's falling. You know, if we've got good track temperature with light rain, we might never see the crossover onto the wet tyres. However, if we do have quite a downpour, that crossover could happen within 1 lap. So it just really depends on the conditions on track.
Could be, but it just depends. You know, we said earlier about Spud having a bit of a bad form at the minute in the league, but he's... Oh! I saw a bit of a lag from Giuseppe. His car just went doing and then back in on the track. I'm not going to do that again because I said it wrong. But so Spud and Sab's done it last, and he's going to 4th.
Yeah, he's done very well starting on the super soft tyres. So Saab's certainly in contention for a podium position at this stage of the race, but it's still all to play for on lap 13 of 29.
Oh.
And also Fast Going has done well to get up to 5th. Our new league admin currently fighting in the Ferrari, looking to put pressure on the Force India of Saab, slightly ahead in 4th. It looks as if the Ferrari negotiated the yeah, it looks as if the Ferrari is looking better in the turns than the Force India at this stage of the race. So Fast Going looking to rein in Saab ahead in 4th and possibly Sir Spud in 3rd. So Force India holding on to 3rd and 4th at the moment.
Sorry.
It's not just commentary you get with us, it's sound effects as well.
Nah, yeah. We've got Delange and Lance Stroll clash closing in, and now I've got the Craig effect now.
Oh, Fast Going having a run.
Oh,
it looks as if he was having a run on the inside of Saab. Thought better of it, but he's going to come under pressure from Red Bull driver Meg Lugpe. But Nicky on the move, up to 7th, all over the back of the Red Bull on fresh super softs.
got a few cars in the pits. Spud is in the lead, but can Nicky? He hasn't done it. He's got DRS, and the other Red Bull, Meg Lugpe, has got DRS.
Yeah, has a little look on the outside of turn 3. Meg Lugpe on the soft tyres, Nicky on fresh super softs. So Nicky not opting to go overly aggressive at this stage in the race. He knows that a strong race finish is on the cards. He doesn't need to risk it too much. He knows Meg Lugpe is on. Yeah, he certainly doesn't need to risk it for a biscuit yet. But Fast Going looking to chase down Spud for the race lead. At the moment, the gap's 7/10 of a second. But pressure mounting on Meg Lugpe from behind, from the form of Nicky in the Williams.
Nicky's on fire at the minute. But it's so fast now because Spud is trying his best to draw that bit of a gap from Pascal, but Pascal says no, sunshine.
But
right there.
The longer Nicky gets held behind Meg Lugpe, the more and more it's ruining his race. He really needs to get this move done because he's aware Cod Tactics in the Renault, also on the soft, is starting to close down Nicky. Meg Lugpe goes defensive on the inside, moves back onto the racing line. Nicky goes for the inside line into turn 1 and gets it done. But the question is, where's Cod Tactics? Cod Tactics still behind the Red Bull. As we approach turn 3, will Meg Lugpe go defensive? It sticks to the racing line. Cod Tactics takes a cautious approach there. Yeah, Meg Lugpe holding on to Cod Tactics, coming through the end of sector 1. It looks as if he wasn't going to fight too hard there, and that's allowed Cod Tactics to move up to 4th. And the gap between Nicky and Cod Tactics is 2.7 seconds.
Bloody hell, Craig.
But Fast Going starting to close down Sir Spud at tremendous speed. The gap 0.2 of a second coming through the chicane. Nicky charging hard, 0.6 of a second behind Ferrari driver Fast Going.
We might have another 3-car battle.
Oh, Fast Going runs wide, goes on the grass. That allows Nicky to charge past. So Sir Spud, a possible easy target. Sir Spud looking to stay ahead at this stage of the race, but the question is, when is the rain coming, and can Sir Spud manage his tyres to that point?
His tyres must be killing now.
Oh, he's certainly compromised his pace through turn 1 and 2, so Sir Spud trying to manage the super soft tyres as best as he can as Cod Tactics picks up a 3-second penalty. Nicky locks up into turn 3. So opportunity lost there for Nicky.
Turn to bed. Giuseppe, Betrayer. Oh, come on. We need some more. We got the 2 Toro Rossos. Oh my God.
But it's possibly a 4-way battle developing behind the Lange for 8th, as there's contact between the Toro Rosso of, that looks as if it was Betrayer and Giuseppe, I believe. Yep, Betrayer's actually still off track. I don't know if he's received damage there, but he's waiting for the traffic to go past. Betrayer decides to retire from the session.
I think what happened was, I think there was a bit of a collision, but I need to speak to you about that after, Craig. Oh, Nicky! He's trying on the charge for the first, but he's past the spud now.
Yeah, so Nicky in net first, already completed his pit stop, so Nicky could possibly go to the end of the race if we get rain. If not, he will need to change tyres.
Lance Stroll's moved up to 8. What a move! What a move from Sam! Oh, please. Please, we need another 2 in the bed. We might have a few cut-offs battling that for first at the minute. Can Giuseppe close in on Delange?
Saab having a run on Lance Stroll into turn 1 and 2. Toro Rosso goes wide into turn 2, clips the grass, allows Saab and the Force India to begin to get even closer, and he's right on his gearbox coming through turn 3 and 4, but it's going to be hard to pass just coming through the end of sector 1 and 2.
Just watching Nick and Rossi coming up to the end of the second sector. Nick Thompson on the ultra soft and Rossi in the super soft. Nicky needs to make this move.
Oh, Nick Thompson picks up a 3-second penalty for the corner cut at the chicane, but he's certainly got a good run down into turn 13. Rossi slightly ahead, goes defensive, cuts off the line. Nick Thompson waits for his next opportunity.
MJ Coop has retired from, I think he messed up in the hit the wall, but Fasconi's dropped down and Cortati has moved up to 3rd. But McLuckpy's coming right in on Fasconi. Mike's moved up to 11th. And Nick... Oh, what a move!
Saab looks to have got the better exit between himself and Lance Stroll. Going down the pit straight. Lance Stroll's got good straight line speed though, so even with DRS the Force India are struggling to get down the inside before turn 1.
Oh, I don't know what's going to happen here, Craig, but from second of Spud, then Core, then Fasconi and then McLuckpy, these guys want some points tonight on this one.
And there is a battle developing between Delange and Mike for the final championship point of the race. Delange holding on to 10th. Mike in the McLaren battling hard. Just can't find a way past at this stage. Oh, has a little look on the inside as we approach turn 6 and 7.
That McLaren will need to get past the Sauber quickly.
Tactics getting held up behind Sir Spud at the moment. Oh, Tactics goes round the outside of Sir Spud, gets a better exit. Oh, DRS open and gets a move done before crossing the start-finish line. So, great move there from Tactics, certainly needed at this stage in the race. Fasconi would have saw that ahead and could possibly want to join this as well.
Oh, don't know what's going to happen there, but we got the McLaren of Mike. Oh, we might have the McLaren Mike pass the Sauber. Oh, can he do it? Yeah, he has. No, but Delange just moved on to the inside.
Yeah, Spud just holds his line there. He knows that Fasconi won't risk a move going into the turn there. So Spud just positioning his car perfectly. looking to hold off the Ferrari. It runs wide. I don't know if that was a conceding of the position or he just missed his braking point. But Sir Spud possibly coming under pressure from Meg Lugpay in the Red Bull. Oh, Fastcone runs wide again at the exit of the chicane. Fastcone really struggling to keep the Ferrari on track.
Yeah.
Oh, he ran wide there, went to come back on track, lost grip, and certainly made contact with the Force India. I saw a little bit of a front wing a piece of carbon fibre break off there. Not sure if that was from the Force India or the Ferrari.
No, it was the Ferrari, Craig. It definitely confirmed Ferrari because Fastcone had lost his front right bit of the wing, and so Spud has pitted for ultra softs.
As we've been watching that, Mike has got the move done on Delange, so Mike moves up to 10th. Delange currently in 11th with Notorious in the Williams. Closing down 7/10 is the gap.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. I'm just checking it from the pit wall as well. Petronas has outbroken himself, second guessing where Giuseppe was, and he apologised to Giuseppe and Delange. But yeah, I think that's what happened with Petronas. But we might have Rossi closing in on Fastcone. Was from 2/10 to now 4/10.
Yeah, Rossi gets a great run out the chicane there. I thought he was going to run into the back of Fastcone, but he managed to lift and avoid contact with the Ferrari. I actually cringed from myself. I was searching for the brake pedal myself there.
The right. We do apologise for any technical difficulties there, guys. We do try our hardest with the commentary stuff, but it's all right, Craig.
Nice slide from Rossi at the exit of 16.
We have saw rain, Craig. It's kicking off. It doesn't look wet enough to be probably about another 4 laps. 5 laps.
It looks fairly light at the moment. We're certainly not seeing any standing water on the track. Biggest indication will be once DRS is turned off by race control. Fastcone looks to run wide at the exit of turn 4 again. So damage to the front wing is certainly compromising Fastcone's race. But I think he'll be opting to try and keep it on track until the crossover.
Alright, let's have a bet on, Craig. I'm going to say lap 25 for the wets to come out, as in the inters.
Yeah, I think possibly turn 24. Just quick good evening to Tej, who joins us for tonight's stream. Apologies I haven't responded earlier, just trying to keep up with what's going on track.
Same.
I think we might see... Fastcone slides behind Rossi, so I don't know if that's possible due to the grid getting wet. It looks as if Rossi's struggling round turn 16 as well, so is that an indication that we're starting to see the crossover this early?
In this game, it takes about 3-4 laps to kick in. But
we are seeing a few drivers struggle with the conditions though, so it does look as if the track is being affected now by the wet weather.
Yeah, possibly. We've got the 2 Force India cars. Saab's going on the inside. Oh, it looked like he was going on the inside then. But
it looks as if Saab ran wide there. So I think this could be the crossover to the wet weather tyre.
And Spud has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. This has been intense, isn't it, Craig?
Yeah, well, just a comment from Tej. He believes that Nick could stay out on the softer tyres if the conditions don't worsen too bad. And certainly that's what I would be thinking as well if I was leading the race on the softer compound, trying to manage the tyres to the end.
Yeah.
As Giuseppe leaves the session. I think he actually pitted for that one and chose to retire.
Lance has got front wing damage. That's why he's dropped down and let Spud through.
So Sir Spud moves up to 7th on the track at the moment in the Force India.
It's too. I'm surprised that the rain has come that quick. Lance is not going in the pits.
Yeah, I think Lance Stroll's going to wait for the crossover to the wet weather tyre as well. Fastcone does pit as well as Rossi.
And Nick as well.
So a couple of drivers anticipating that it could get worse.
Oh, Spud. He has lost the car a little bit there. I think it's time. I think it's time for the Inters to come in. Because Spud is struggling that bad. But...
Well, the question is, what's Nicky going to do? Nicky's leading this race, just coming through the chicane. On the run down into turn 13. He's got a 3-second advantage over Cod Tactics, currently on the soft. So, who's going to blink first between Nicky and Cod Tactics? Or will both drivers just try and manage their tyres to the end of the race? But they could come under pressure from the drivers opting for the intermediates.
No,
so Nicky does pit. No, Cod Tactics goes for the risk to stay out. Will that work in his favour, or will that be a disaster?
McLaughlin.
Yep. Well, we see Sir Spud as he just comes through turn 13 on the run down to 14. Meg Lugby gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, Lance, he must have lost it in the gravel. I'm not sure what's happened beforehand. I think it could be the wet track coming in. Mike's pitted now. Spud's pitted.
Well, at the moment, Mark, there's 5 laps remaining in this race. 25.6 second interval between Nicky and Cod Tactics. Will Cod Tactics take the risk and stay on the track to the end of the race, or will they opt for the intermediates? And if so, can Nicky close them down and get the move done?
That's a big risk. Okay, what would you do if you was in Cod Tactics shoes now in this situation?
I would be watching the gap. very much so, yeah. If it was closing down very, very quickly,
yeah.
I would probably dive into the pits and just accept possibly second or third. As race control does disable DRS, so that is the indicator of the crossover as Meg Lugby is struggling. Sorry, that's Saab, Saab in the Force India struggling with the conditions at the moment. He is on the soft tyre.
Yeah, Core has pitted because the DRS has been disabled. Yeah, Saab's got to pit.
So right on board with Nicky. We'll see where Nicky can get to in relation to Cod Tactics. Nicky just coming through the final turn. Cod Tactics coming on the pit exit.
He's out.
Oh, he remains ahead. So Cod Tactics remains in the lead, but the gap now down to 2 seconds. Game on, it's certainly not over yet.
No, it's not over till the Fat Lady sings. But we haven't got that yet, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got Nicky closing in on Core. I think on my screen looks like Nicky's got the ultra soft tyre. Oh, nearly hit the wall there.
So it's going to be a straight fight between Cod Tactics and Nicky for the race win. I think it's Nicky that's got a 3-second penalty. But yeah, just as Tedjor was saying, Nicky's tyres will be up to temperature. They've been warmed up with that one lap. Cod Tactics still holding on to that gap, and he's going to have to be very mindful of Nicky slightly behind with a 1.6 second gap now.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch Fascone. Oh, actually, Sab. I'm going to watch Sab and Mike.
Yeah, Saab did go for the pits onto the intermediates after struggling on the soft round sector 2.
We're just seeing if Sab can close in on with the McLaren car of the Mike.
Spud looks as if he's going to come under pressure from fast going for 6th place as well. The gap 0.3 of a second.
Yeah. Fascone has been unlucky, to be fair. He had them poles out of nowhere. He just couldn't finish them off. He couldn't finish his dinner plate after. But
poles don't win you prizes.
Yeah, points don't mean prizes. Ba-doom-tsh. Oh God.
So looks like Fascone could get a good run down to turn 1 on Sir Spud. Looks like Sir Spud's just... he's enough ahead to maintain 6th, but Fascone looks to get the better exit. Sir Spud runs wide. Just clipping the curb. Fascone maybe possibly a dive into the inside of turn 3. He gets it done, so Fascone moves up to 6th with the inside dive bomb. Oh, a big slide as he runs wide onto turn 5.
Still watching Sab closing in on Mike. This is the same performance thing from last week in the USA Grand Prix. I think it was Sab and Mike. Sab could not get past Mike. He was saying the quote about the bus.
Just as you're saying that, Mark, Tej actually said that like 3 minutes earlier, that it was going to be a USA GP revenge. So both of you thinking similar thoughts at the moment.
Like mine's and that one. We got Spuds trying to close in on Fascone.
Yeah, but it looks like Fascone is really struggling to get the power down. The Ferrari's sliding a lot and actually understeering. With the Ferrari, he's often running wide. That allows Sir Spud to start to close the gap down again. So Saab currently fighting with McLaren driver Mike for 8th place, a gap 0.3 of a second. Saab gets the better exit from turn 15, gets it neater in turn 16, looks to go round the outside, moves to the inside on Mike on the run down to turn 1. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Saab controls the inside line, wheel to wheel. I don't know if there was contact, but Saab began to lose the back end there and the exit of turn 2.
I think there was a little bit of contact, but I'll rather see it again before I make any more judgments on that one. But to me, it looked like Mike kept inside, or kept on the outside, to try keeping on track, and then slight nudge on to Saab, and Saab had the 3-second time penalty because I think he misjudged on the first corner. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, Core Tactics is beginning to open up the gap to Nicky. The gap now 4 seconds. So Core Tactics driving spectacularly in the Renault. And looks as if he's going to be bringing it home safely to secure the race win.
He has done well. Core Tactics. He's just done his job. You know, no messing, just try and catch up. And just hope for the best. Because don't forget, Nicky's I don't know if he's using no assist tonight. The same with Lance Stroll as well. But
yeah, I think Nicky drives no assist for the main part. I think it's when he's in the Eco Leagues that he uses the racing line. Possibly a performance as well. Not sure. But again, another impressive display from Meg Lugby. A very inspiring drive from the rookie driver this season. So Meg Lugby looking to secure another podium position Currently 3 seconds ahead of Nick Thompson, another impressive rookie for Invictus Racing.
Yeah. Just watching Lance Stroll try to close in on Notorious before I go back to the Saab. I'm not sure who that car is. That's Delange. Yeah, that's Delange. So we might have Delange, Notorious, and Lance Stroll battling out for the last position on the race on lap 29. I know it's a big ask, but oh my god.
Well, the final lap though, and again it's another impressive display from Delange in the Sauber, back in the points. As we jump to the front of the grid for Core Tactics, just coming through the end of Sector 1, currently leading the race by 4.7 seconds. Can he bring it home safely and secure the race win?
Notorious has gone off the track. I'm not sure there was any collision or he lost his braking point or what, I don't know, but he was off the track. We need to see that. But Saab's closing in on Mike on the last lap of the Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Saab will be looking for retribution after the slight wobble in turn 1 and 2 a few laps ago.
He'll be like, yeah, come back, sunshine. I ain't finished with you yet. Do you reckon Saab will get 8? Or do you think Mike will hold on?
Oh, I think it could come down to penalties though. Just an update from MJ Coop indicating that COD Tactics has a 3-second penalty.
Oh.
And congratulations to COD Tactics, who will claim tonight's race victory. Nicky didn't have penalties, and that resulted in a 1 second gap. McLumpy just coming across the start finish line should take third, but with penalties dependent, will we see him? Yep, McLumpy does secure the final podium position, with Nick Thompson taking fourth. Rossi takes fifth after securing pole.
Oh my god. Saab's still closing in on Mike, but Lance Stroll will close in on Delange for the last point. Will he do it? I don't know. But this is intense.
Yeah, Delange is going to have to defend with everything he's got. Oh, Lance Stroll sneaks up the inside of turn 15 and gets him moved done. So great move, never giving up from Lance Stroll.
Oh my god. Fair play.
And that brings us to a close of the Australian Grand Prix. So your